over. By the way, I'm going to be talking about medical mistakes. And if you have been emotionally traumatized, or if you have family members that have been emotionally traumatized by this, please forgive me, but please stop watching the video because I'm going to make light of this subject. My goal is actually a serious one, but in part of it, I am going to make light of the situation. If that upsets you, please do not watch this video. I realize that some of the stuff that I say, if you actually experience this, it would be terrible to hear it. So I don't want anyone to be further traumatized by mistakes. But today's video is about mistakes. And here are some of the most famous quotes about mistakes. The most famous one that I can think of is "To err is human, to forgive divine." And according to the internet, that was from Alexander Pope. And of course, yeah, if you want to depend on anything in this universe, it's that humans will make mistakes. And if you are going to plan anything that involves a large number of operations in humans, you want to account for human error. It's just the way that the universe works. I mean, there are two things that you can depend on in this universe, and that is change and human error. So if there hasn't been a human error for a while, you can bet that there will be human error in the future. That's just the way it works. That's the way the universe works. And if you don't account for human error, then you're going to have a bad situation. The second quote that I want to talk about with human error is by Buckminster Fuller. And Buckminster Fuller has a great attitude about mistakes. Mistakes are great. The more I make, the smarter I get. And here's another really great one. You can never learn less. You can only learn more. The reason I know so much is because I have made so many mistakes. And if you look at R. Buckminster Fuller's life, it's absolutely true. This man made a lot of mistakes, but that's because this man tried so many things. The other quote that I should probably look up is by Confucius. Confucius made a quote basically saying, there are by three ways we may obtain wisdom. The first is by meditation, which is noblest. The second is by example, which is easiest. The third is by experience, which is the bitterest. Now, the mistake that I'm going to refer to is a medical mistake. Doctors have they're busy. They're under a lot of stress. They've got a lot of patients to see. And occasionally, in the confusion, a doctor has to remove one eyeball. And the confusion comes in because there are two eyeballs. And so, if nothing else, if the doctor knows nothing else, he has a 50, or the doctor, he or she, has a 50-50 chance percent of getting the right eyeball out on the first try. On the second try, he has a 100, or he or she has a 100% chance of removing the correct eyeball. Now, obviously, if you hear your doctor saying that, mistakes are great, the more I make, the smarter I get, you don't want to ever hear that from your doctor who's about to remove your eyeball. So here's the thing. This has nothing to do with me. I don't remove eyeballs. I mean, unfortunately, I love thinking about things that have nothing to do with me or my job or anything. However, the thought has occurred to me. Now, do you suppose when the doctor removed the wrong eyeball, so let's take a look at one of the cases. Why did the doctor remove the wrong eyeball? And it's because of a scheduling change. Somebody made a scheduling change, and of course, the two people that switched schedules had the different eyeballs that needed to be removed, or the surgical operation involved the other eyeball. So the first thing is, if somebody makes a schedule change, then you definitely want to be aware of the scheduling change. People in a rush, people having, the surest way to make a mistake is to make a rush. Now, here's a very simple answer to this problem. Now, if and you can use this yourself, or I can use it for myself. And remember, going back to that Confucius quote, that we can obtain wisdom by three methods. The first is by meditation. The second is by example. The third is by bitter experience, which is bitterest. So, unfortunately, people have had the bitter experience of having the wrong eyeball removed. Now, their bitter experience can be our easy number two, the easy example. The easy example of somebody's eyeball being removed incorrectly is, here's the answer to that. Put a Band-Aid under the correct eyeball that you want to remove. And God help you if the doctor somehow thinks that's the one to keep. Oh, God. Make sure that you get that on the same, you're on the same page with the doctor on that. Is, look, I'm going to put the bandage under the eyeball you're going to remove, okay? The other eyeball, just don't touch it. The other thing is, I'm thinking, what was the doctor thinking? Did the doctor just, well, we know in one of the cases it was just scheduling change, and nobody bothered to tell the doctor, hey, we scheduled two different people, and it's two different eyeballs. But I was thinking, do you think some of the doctors are going, wait, I forgot which eyeball we're removing. I forgot which eyeball. Was it the left or was it the right? I can't remember. And then they're sitting there with a patient under anesthesia, and they can't bring themselves to admit to themselves, I don't know. I'm going to bring the patient out of anesthesia and ask them, hey, which eyeball? And the reason why is because that takes time, it takes money, it's all gone. But now think about this for a second. Losing that time and money is better than removing the wrong eyeball, for sure. Absolutely for sure. So, for whatever reason, if any doctor finds themselves, I'm almost certain that no doctor ever comes up. I don't think that's ever happened where it would be crazy, but if there was a doctor that suddenly forgot which eyeball, because here's the crazy thing about left and right. If you're looking at the patient from the bottom up, like you're looking up towards the person's head, left and right is completely the opposite. If you go and you stand on the top of the person's head, look down at the person's head. Now left and right is reversed. Why the hell does the universe work like this? Why doesn't left just stay left and why doesn't right just stay right? You can actually switch position in space and reverse left and right. That's what I was thinking. Like, my imagination when I hear this story, I'm thinking of what could the doctor have been thinking? Did they forget and they just decided, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe? Now, did they actually do that thinking, well, I'm too embarrassed and it's too embarrassing and I have a 50% chance of getting the correct eyeball if I guess right now. And then after I get it wrong, I will have a 100% chance of getting the correct eyeball on the second try. And so, yes, the simple answer to this is a Band-Aid under the correct eyeball.